All right, Rocket, let's start there. We know why you're here today, but let's talk about the shoulder. How you feeling, man? It looks like you were working hard out there.
After about 600 BP pitches, I like throwing 50 miles an hour. I'm still going to have to ice, but that speed's perfect batting practice for the groups. And like I said, I love it. I get to get on my stomping grounds right here where I made my name, and the Jimmy Fund's been great. Red Sox great. Grounds crew here. I mean, I told both groups. I still get thrilled about it. I said, look, you guys understand you're taking batting practice at Fenway Park, where some of the greats have stood in that dirt. And we covered the bases. It was a first for me today. I threw to a 92-year-old grandpa. He got up out of his chair and stood in there, and we hit his bat a couple times. And I think the youngest today was 11 years old. So we covered him. And then this group here looked like some college players, so I had to get behind that L screen. They were hitting good. They were just dying to hit one over the green monster.
Man. There's a history of you doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, man. I mean, take me back to the beginning of it, and even to present day, and why you continue to do it.
Yeah, the Red Sox, Mrs. Yawkey introduced me to the Jimmy Fund in 1984 when I was a rookie here, coming out of the University of Texas. And the relationship has been great ever since. And, instead of the sit-down long dinners, we came up with these Rocket Man experiences, and one of them is batting practice at Fenway Park. I do one in my private home in Houston, and we do some golf outings, which are real fun too. But it doesn't get better than this. I mean, I get to throw BP to you at Fenway, and the fans and people who support the Jimmy Fund, they get a little bang for their buck on this auction item. So their donations to the Jimmy Fund, it goes unmatched. What the Jimmy Fund's done over the years, it's just been incredible. And like I said, one of the famous stories that is out there quite a bit was, I'm not sure what year it was, maybe one of my Cy Young years, but we got contacted by a little girl's family, and so the game started at 7:35 p.m. back there, and I drove in, and I went straight to the hospital, and I was in my jeans and boots and a golf shirt, and I think I had a hat on maybe, and walked in her room, and she's a big Rocket fan, and when I walked in the street clothes, she goes, you're not Roger Clemens. And I go, well, I am. She goes, no, you're not. And the family's looking at me. I say, all right, hold on. I had a Boston police officer with me, and he brought me back to Fenway. I put my entire uniform on, and I went back. And when I walked through the door, she goes, Roger Clemens, it's the Rocket, And so it was. That's kind of what started the great relationship too.
Well, I know you have a lot of charitable things as well in Houston and other places. But can you talk to me about Boston? Because I know, aside from BP, you have a lot of charitable things you do in the city. Talk to me about that,
yeah.
and why you continue to do that, and why Boston means so much to you.
Yeah, I mean, I got my start here. Bruce Hurst, my pitching mate, gave me my nickname, the Rocket, here, and after it struck out 20 guys. And this is home for me. I got drafted here. It was, I found out my mom was big into history before she passed away, her whole life. And she wrote me a nice poem when I got drafted by the Red Sox. And it was really cool when they brought me in here. I walked in through one of the tunnels and saw the green grass and the big green monster. So it was a great stepping stone for my career for sure, and just wonderful memories. Made a lot of history in a ballpark full of history. But I think, again, I just celebrated 30 years of the Roger Clemens Foundation. We help at-risk children, and I still do a little work in each of the 4 cities I play in, but nothing bigger here than what I do with the Red Sox.
Happy anniversary to you, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of anniversaries, you mentioned those 20 strikeouts. Now, you've only done that twice in your career, but your last win with the Red Sox was that. Take me back to that time, throwing that, because we're coming up on that anniversary.
Yeah, it's coming up. You're right. I get contacted by my teammates. Getty. Getty cut my game here. Billy Hasselman cut the one in Detroit. Marty Barrett. Marty will send me a text. Hurst will send me a text. And it's just great to stay in touch with your teammates that you battled so hard with. To do it twice, I mean, it's just crazy. And these guys, these younger guys I threw to today, they brought up some stuff that that I didn't realize, but I did realize. And I told them what's really cool about what you're talking about last win is I'm not in front or behind the great Cy Young here. I'm tied with him in wins, I believe, in the history of this franchise. And I think in shutouts. So it's really cool for me, who I've been fortunate to win his award 7 times, to be, attached at the hip with Cy Young. So when you when you start getting your name mentioned with some great ones with Cy Denton Youngs and Walter the Train Johnson and guys like that, it's pretty cool.
That is really cool. Now, what about the current team? You know, they're fighting for a wild card spot. Just your thoughts on the current team. I don't know how much you're following. I mean, you think they got a good shot at this or what?
Absolutely. To me, it looks like they're having fun again. You know, instead of grind, you grind up here because you want to make a great showing in front of the passionate fans. That, you know, there's nothing like baseball in the Northeast, and the passion that the fans have here. But it looks like to me they're having fun, and when you do that, you relax a little bit, and then hitting gets contagious. But they got to get their arms ready. Everybody knows when you get mid-September and you want to be one of those teams playing in October, you got to pitch it and you got to catch it. And you're going to see everybody's number one and number two. You know, some of these hitters face off guys, the 3, 4, 5 starters. But you're going to have to hit guys like me and Pedro when the lights get bright.
Right. They don't make them like you no more, though, bro. You or Pedro, to be honest with you. In fact, look, I'm a big Paul Skeens fan. Who isn't? But some of these new pitchers, they don't go deep into games like you guys did. The analytics is all in it. They pull them out early.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new age pitchers? I mean, I'm sure talent-wise you have to be impressed with it, but the game has just changed so much. Where you guys were workhorses, now it almost seems like a lot of these dudes are protected against themselves in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, analytics, I'm not high or low on. I'm kind of in the middle. I still believe that, instead of punching stuff in a computer and say, hey, get the guy out of there because the average goes up against him, I still believe that, your pitching coach or maybe even your manager, you got to do an eye and a heart test with your guy. And, I mean, who knows if you're going to have, complete games are going to be something that we never see again. And the guy like Skis that you talked about, he's got a great lower half. He's strong down below, so that'll help him. But there's some pressure innings he's pitching now. They'd probably be, if they're not in it, be best to shut him down and rest him, because it doesn't matter how good you are or whatever at that stage in your career. Those are pressure innings and stressful innings. And I mean, you just never know what quality start was 7 innings, 2 runs or less with us. They're going to probably have to lower that. But yeah, I mean, you every once in a while you'll see a guy go 7, 8 innings, which is like everybody freaks out about. But that was
routine.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, okay, giving the bullpen a rest. So, but again, guys like Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver paved the way for me to do what I was able to do, and you paved the way for these younger guys to come up and do their thing. And speaking of that, what a blessing for me. I'm a power pitcher. I don't throw, I pitch. Sure. No matter if I have my 98 or I'm at 92 miles an hour. And I was afforded the luxury. We traded for Tom Seaver in 1986. He got hurt, so he wasn't on our playoff roster. But I got to watch a 40-year-old man out there, throwing 88 miles an hour, get in trouble, and then he busts one in there 92, 93 for a strikeout. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. I see where we're at here. So I got to see and pitch with and be a teammate of who I consider the ultimate power pitcher in Tom Seaver. Yeah, you learn the game within the game almost,
Absolutely.
Right?
All right, now that's pitchers. Before I let you go, who are some guys that you love watching to play the game right now in baseball? I imagine Judge has to be up there, but who else?
Yeah, well, those hitters, man, those guys, and like when I was in the movie Ty Cobb, and one of the famous lines Ty Cobb said, "My sister Florence could hit the ball out of right field at Yankee Stadium." So facing somebody like Judge or Stanton, you got to crowd those guys. Here, I would force them to, I'd be a little more careful inside with them here because of the short wall. Maybe pitch them away, but they're so good. Yeah, they can punt the ball anywhere. But you just got to be careful with guys like that. They're fun to watch. I mean, again, I people ask me about facing guys or pitching against guys over my career. I came up, and I got to face. My goal was to get to the big leagues in time to face Reggie Jackson. He was one of my favorite of all time. And Reggie's heard the story. We're close friends. He does some work with the Astros right now in my hometown. And but I remember he was California Angel, and I faced him right here at Fenway Park. And I mean, I found myself behind the mound untying and retying my shoes. They weren't untied, but I could just our Sherm Feller, our announcer, now batting for the California Angels, number 44, Reggie Jackson. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the big leagues. I'm facing Reggie Jackson. So, but I faced some, the Dave Kingmans, Don Baylors, the Luzinskis. Had wonderful teammates like Jimmy Rice and Dwight Evans. Just some tremendous, guys watching them, hit the ball around this ballpark. So I was very fortunate in my career. I played 24 years. I faced guys all the way from like I said, from the Robin Youts and to the Pujols, and so it's just a great journey that I was on. I was fortunate to stay healthy.
I saw the horns up over there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sarkisian's going to have these boys ready to go, or what?
They'll be ready. I don't know how these college coaches do it now with the portal and everything. I really don't, but they do it. And I'd imagine once the season starts, everybody, we don't want to hear what you're making or whatever. You got to play football. But SEC is going to be tough, and I'm looking forward to get going. I had the opportunity to talk to the football team the other day in Austin, and Sark is a huge. I don't know if your viewers know it, but I was at the Alabama game a couple of years ago and hadn't met him. And I'm standing on the sidelines. They're about, I don't know, they're 5-10 minutes away from kickoff, and he's hugging his coaches, and he looks up and he sees me. And here he comes, he beelines right at me. He goes, Rocket, I'm the biggest friggin' Red Sox fan. I love the Red Sox, man. They're my team, man. You did it. You killed it there. We hug, and I said, Coach, you're getting ready to do a kickoff here against Alabama. Bring it ready. So about a week later, I got one of my Red Sox jerseys, and I sent it to him for his office, and he's got it right there in his office. So he's a big Red Sox guy.
Hey, Sark, come on, man. You're welcome here at Fenway, man. Come on up.
He'll be here. He'll be here in a heartbeat. You're inviting him.
I appreciate
You got
you.
it.
Thank
You
you
got
so
it.
much.
You got it.